What's up, friends? Welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to be making the highly procrastinated, highly delayed, whatever you want to call it, breast augmentation Q&A. Today we are going to be talking about a lot of common questions that I got when I posted the sticker thingy on Instagram for questions. I mainly got questions about how much it cost, what doctor I went to, how the recovery was, what the pain level was like. All the things that I wanted to know when I was doing my research too. So I will try to make sure that I'm thorough, but as always, if I leave anything out, if you still have questions, please feel free to leave a comment, to message me on whatever, Instagram, Twitter, what have you. I will do my best to get back to them as soon as possible. So I had my breast implants put in about a month and a half, almost 2 months ago now, and I've just been lagging to make this video. I've been so busy, but I am here today and I'm gonna get it done. I did get quite a few questions and a lot of them were pretty repetitive, so I'm just gonna be answering some of the most common ones that I received. So as you can see, sometimes I still do wear the surgical bra because I like the support that it gives me, and I've never been one to just go braless and feel comfortable with it. So I'm having a hard time adjusting to just being braless. So I am having a pretty hard time adjusting to just not wearing a bra. I know that's kind of one of the benefits that usually comes with a breast augmentation and just having fuller, bigger breasts. I'm not totally okay yet with, I went downstairs, not out of breath. Still adjusting. It's only been 2 months and the recovery process can take about 6 months or so. And when I'm not wearing the surgical bra, I'm wearing sports bras for support. But I haven't yet gone shopping for any cute bras or anything flattering at all. So that's coming soon. It's just so hard with COVID because I can't go into fitting rooms and I just have no idea where to start when buying new bras. I will get to that soon. I'm excited about it. It's summer now, so I'm going to be not as covered up, and it's going to be very noticeable that I'm wearing this ugly little surgical bra or that I'm wearing sports bras. So yeah, I have to get on that. Like I said, I'm going to answer some of the most common questions. One of the most common things I was asked was, what did you get done? Implants and a lift. So I didn't get a lift done. I only got a breast augmentation. So I just had implants put in to make them fuller. I didn't get a breast lift because when those implants were put in, it did obviously fill in the skin that was there, even though they were a little saggy before. He just made them to a size that was filling enough where I didn't need a lift, but it wasn't overly full and they weren't gonna look like hard and fake, very fake. So I was initially thinking that I might need a lift because they were pretty saggy and the skin was pretty loose. But with the implants put in, that like pretty much solved the problem of having that extra loose skin. You know, from breastfeeding and having gained weight and all of that, my breast skin did stretch out. I'll get to the consultation-ish part later. So another common question that I got was, what type of implants did I get and what size did I get? I actually got silicone implants instead of saline. I don't think I ever really was considering saline just because, well, I did my own research and I figured that silicone was what was going to be best for me. And I know sometimes people say that saline is more natural looking, but honestly mine are silicone and I feel like, well, this whole time you can't even see them. Oh my gosh. I honestly feel like mine, even though they are silicone, they look pretty natural. Like you can't really tell that they are implants, right? Or I'm glad that I went with silicone and didn't like convince myself beforehand that I needed saline because the doctor also recommended silicone. So I believe each implant was 420 cc's. I know it probably sounds bad that like I don't know exactly what size I got, and I'm saying I think I got this size, but let me explain. I went in not thinking like, oh, this is exactly what I want. I'm gonna tell him I want this size and that's what I'm set on. I did enough research beforehand to be informed and know that everyone is different, everybody's bodies are different. Little freaking brat. I'm giving my son a candy so he can be a little bit distracted. I know that's like the worst parenting thing you could probably do. Don't judge me for giving my son candy. He wanted a Starburst, and I need to distract him a little bit right now. Probably a really bad parenting decision, but I shouldn't get this done. He'll be all right. I ate more than half of the Starburst too, so he only has like a really small piece. I did enough research beforehand, and I was informed enough to know that not everybody's body is going to look the same with the same size implants. So even though I was looking for like inspiration pictures and trying to get an idea of what I was going to tell him I wanted to look like, and our anatomy and our proportions are just so different and they vary so greatly that even if I found someone with the same height or same weight or both the same as me, that a certain size implant is going to look very different on them still, because we're just made different. Maybe they have wider shoulders, maybe I have wider shoulders, maybe their waist or hips are different, so that size implant is going to look different on them, and I knew that right away. So I didn't really care at all what amount of cc's I got or how big the actual implant was. I just wanted it to look a certain way on myself. I also was aware, which you should be too if you're considering this, that the amount of breast tissue that you already have before implants is going to be different for everyone too. So I'm not just talking about the amount of extra skin or anything. I'm talking about the actual breast tissue that's inside. So that is going to be another factor, along with many others, that is going to determine the size of implants that you need. Like I said, there's no deciding beforehand how many cc's you should get or how many you think you want, because ultimately the doctor, if they're a good doctor, they will be able to help you decide the best size for you. I mean, they will probably ask you a little bit about your preferences. My doctor asked me how big I wanted to go, what I wanted to look like, what I had in mind, I guess, and I told him, I think the exact words that I told him were, I want to go as big as you can, or go as big as you can. And he's like, he gave me this funny face because that was a pretty dumb statement on my part, but I was just so excited. He was like, wait, that can mean a lot of things. Like, you need to be more specific when you tell me that, because I can technically go like triple D, like super big, but it won't necessarily be the same idea that you have when you tell me go as big as you can. Like, we need to talk more about this, and I need to explain to you more what that can mean and what that can look like. So yeah, I basically just told him that I didn't want to look super top heavy, but I did want to go pretty big. Like, I obviously don't have like a big butt or anything to match super huge boobs, so I didn't want to get them so big where it's like overwhelmingly big and it doesn't match any of the rest of my body. But I also did want them as full as possible. Honestly, it never really occurred to me to ask what size we were going with once we had that discussion, because I really didn't care like how many cc's he decided. I felt like we had enough of a conversation and he asked me enough questions. I gave him enough specific answers to where he was going to be able to do what I asked. So another question that I got pretty often: where did I go? As all my video titles show, I went to Tijuana, Mexico. But the exact doctor that I went to, his name is Manuel Gutierrez. He's just like right past the border, like pretty close in, well, in TJ, it's just right past the border. He is a board certified plastic surgeon. He has I believe over 20 years of experience. I thought it was 25, but you can also verify his credentials online or even by calling the Mexican Association of Plastic and Reconstructive Surgery. I chose him after watching like 1 or 2 YouTube videos of girls who went to him. They like vlogged their experience, you know, shared how their recovery is going and everything. I based my decision on the experience of others who have also gone to him, and I felt like his work did look pretty natural and not exaggerated or not uneven, anything like that. I just felt like from the pictures I saw, the before and after pictures, the YouTube reviews, the reviews on so many other websites as well, that it was a good match. Another question was, did you take a separate trip for the consultation? No, I actually did my initial screening or consultation via email because it would have been an extra trip, and when I contacted his office, they were able to let me know what I needed based off of photos that I sent in. They told me what they recommended and gave me a price quote for that. But yeah, I had to send in pictures of my front and side views. Also asked what my current height, weight, and age is. How much did it cost? So the price for this breast augmentation, and this is the price that they quoted me at online via email as well, was $3,900. So just a little bit under $4,000. This price includes doctor's fees, anesthesiologist fees, medical equipment, nurses fees, any post-surgery appointments, like follow-up appointments, and then meals, which it says that they include like soft liquid meals after surgery. So what is not included in this price and would cost extra are, so a hospital night would be extra, lab work, pre-op evaluation, an EKG, screening, testing, whatever you want to call it, take-home prescription medication, and the compression bra. So all those things that I just listed were not included in that $3,900, but the other three things that I paid for was the lab work. That was $80, and it was definitely necessary because you have to make sure that you are physically healthy enough to be able to go under surgery. So when I got there for surgery, they immediately sent me to the lab before I paid or anything. They needed to make sure that we could actually even go through with this. So that was an extra $80. I also paid for the compression bra, which was $60. And unless you want to buy your own beforehand, you are gonna need this as well for after surgery. And then I also paid for the prescription medication, which was, I can't remember, I think like maybe $80, $100. So yeah, it ended up being a little bit over $4,000 with all of those expenses. That obviously doesn't include the price of the gas or hotel or, you know, just getting there and staying there. That is totally separate, and they think they have like a shuttle that will take you to and from your hotel if you stay at a certain hotel, but I didn't because I didn't want to rely on anyone else's transportation, so I didn't do that. They mentioned it right away that flight tickets and hotel accommodations are not included. I don't know why they had to mention that. Like, do people really assume dumb stuff like that? That price is not all inclusive. It's already cheap, I think, but it wasn't so cheap where it's like alarming, where you feel like maybe there's something shady or sketchy about it. That price was actually average for Tijuana. It's not like on the higher end and it's not on the lower end. That's about what it seems to cost for breast augmentation. After having done my research, I was like, okay, that sounds reasonable. So it didn't scare me away, of course. And then another question that I got asked was, what was the pain like? I wouldn't say that there is actually ever any pain. I would not call it that. I feel like it would be more appropriate to call it uncomfortability. Anyway, there's just more moments of being uncomfortable than pain at all. That describes it a lot better than pain, because I honestly never really was aching or in pain. Nothing ever really hurt. Just as a side note, I still haven't completely regained like the feeling back in my breasts yet. So ever since the surgery, there's been this feeling of numbness on my nipples. I can kind of feel them, but not all the way. And then just around my breasts too, I can't feel a lot. So I don't want to sound alarming or scare anyone at all, because this is actually super normal and to be expected. It is a normal part of the recovery process. So this can actually last for several weeks up to months after surgery, because during surgery the nerves are traumatized. Sometimes they are damaged or actually severed or cut. They can also be compressed by the swelling in the area, so you should gradually get that feeling back, and it is honestly not a big deal. It is definitely coming back. I can feel it little by little. Like, I'm more aware of my breasts being there, whereas before it was like pretty much no feeling, which is crazy. I know it's not something that I worry about at all, because like I said, it is gradually resolving itself. How bad was the recovery? On a scale of 1 through 10, I would say it was like a 2 or a 3. Like, I really was never in any pain. And mind you, I didn't take much pain meds at all. Like, I want to say I took it the first day, like when I woke up from surgery, they gave me meds. I had no choice. And then the day after surgery, I took it. And then I think ever since then, like after that time, I never took it again. Like, I was totally fine. I didn't feel any pain. The hardest part of this surgery and the recovery for me was just not being able to do everything like I normally would. Like, I would catch myself trying to like pick up my son or just lift things or like lift my arm. You're not supposed to lift your elbows anywhere over higher than your shoulders. I would catch myself almost lifting my arms too much because my incisions are under my breasts in the crease, so I would have to be very careful with that. You don't want to strain yourself too much either because you can mess things up. It was just hard having to ask for help when I wanted to do those things myself, you know? That was honestly the hardest part for me, feeling like I can't do a lot. I knew that that was going to happen because I have a 2-year-old and life goes on, so it was hard to adjust to that for the short amount of time, I guess, that I had to. It was really like 4 weeks or so of more restrictive instructions that I had, and then also not being able to work out. Like, that has thrown me off so much. I cannot tell you how frustrating that has been, because when I was not able to work out because I was, you know, recovering and stuff, I really wanted to work out, and then I got used to not working out. So I am having the hardest time getting back to working out and like just getting into a routine. I can't tell you how frustrating. I am just so not motivated right now. Like, it is crazy. And right now is when you would think I would be the most motivated and like on top of it, because it's spring now. Like, summer is coming and I do not have the willpower to work out, to eat right. Like, I'm just living my best life in a worse way. I'm living my best life in one way because I am just doing what I want and not anything of what I should be doing. So I guess that's my worst life, because I'm not working out and I'm not eating right. But yeah, we're not gonna go on that rant today. I am going to start to try to make better choices because I said it here now and I have to stick to that. I will start working out. I will get back to making better choices. That's all I have for today. I didn't want to be too redundant, but I hope I answered some of your main questions that you have. Like I said, leave a comment, send me a message. I will be happy to answer your questions and try to be informative. I hope that you guys are taking care of yourself and doing more of what makes you happy and makes you excited about life. I will see you in the next video. Bye!